Hi guys, been out playing with the A6700 on the 200 or 600. Works fabulously, I must say. If you're shooting small birds that are moving, it's a bit harder because when you're at 600, which is equivalent to 900 because it's cropping in 1.5 times, your angle of view is narrowed down even more. So with the swallows that I've just been trying to photograph, which is quite windy, so they're blasting around all over the place, you have to move even faster to try and stay with them, and then when you don't know where they're going, it's quite hit and miss. So I've been out at 200, 300 basically, trying to stay with them, and then as you stay with them, just zoom into 600 to basically try and get a closer shot, but that wasn't working brilliantly, just because I can't move fast enough. Or if I move off shot and the birds turn left and I've gone right, you kind of mess up the shots. But it's getting shots that I can't even see, which is quite mad. So I've got a few shots in frame that I thought I did not even got, because it's happening so quickly, which is impressive. That's how fast the autofocus is working. It's as quick as the A1 by easily. I'm not sure how many calculations a second it's doing, but it's a little bit smarter. I don't think it's hugely smart compared to the A1. It wouldn't bother me if I picked the A1 up or this up all day long, or the A7R5 for example, and still had to push a couple of buttons on the A1 to make it do what this can, with the intelligent AF kind of thing going on. But yeah, it makes a slightly lighter job of having this big lumpy thing. So yeah, it's in some benefits it's quite cool to get out with it, but obviously you've got your crop factor involved, 1.5 times. So in certain situations it's better because you can get a bit closer, but at the same time makes it a little bit harder with the moving stuff because you've got to try and stay with it. So yeah, it's yeah, not perfect in some respects. It did miss a few shots, so just proof it isn't 100% perfect all the time, but nothing is. Doesn't matter what camera you're using, even the newest of the new, they still will miss at some point. Not necessarily down to the camera's fault, not necessarily the human's fault, but just in the situation you're in. You could be shooting straight into the sun or in towards the sun. It could cause it trouble. Into tree lines and stuff like that. It could get shots that I didn't even see I got. So yeah, it is a fantastic bit of kit. The more I'm using this camera, the more it makes more sense, if you know what I mean. And the fact that it's absolutely dinky is even better. It fits in the bag very easily, even with like a smallish 18 to 135 lens that I bought to go with it. Works really well. So that was good today as well. So yeah, I'm just going to go and have a look at some of the pictures. But yeah, nice to say that this lens works absolutely flawlessly with it, within reason. Obviously, put it into certain things. Oh, you bugger. There was a hawk moth. I don't know if you know what a hawk moth is. It's one of those big, they almost look like a hummingbird, or I think it might be called a hummingbird moth. They look huge, and it literally just landed on the flowers over there, or just about to take some nectar, and then a big gust of wind came and it went away. So that's a shame. Could have got that. Never mind. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be out testing it a lot more and doing some more stuff with it, but out in the garden with the swallows flying around, I've got some shots, but it's more the fact that it's luck of me actually moving quick enough and going in the right direction that they are as well, because they change direction so quickly that I could be panning left with it and suddenly it's moved right and 20 feet 30 feet over there and I missed it completely. So yeah, a lot of it is down to a human not moving fast enough basically, but other than that, it is a wicked camera. Definitely well worth the money. So don't forget to click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well. Here comes some photos and I'll voice over them as we go through them, and I'll show you what I've done. Yeah, there's I've been out with it today already. Went to Brooklands Motor Museum, so there will be a video about that as well. Just snapping in different situations, low lights, in like dark warehouse, what do you call it, not warehouse, like an aircraft hangar, inside old aircraft and stuff like that. So I just sort of in those sort of situations, photographing cars on a skid pan, doing power slides and stuff, and loads of other things as well, planes flying past and all that sort of stuff. So it was quite a cool day today. I met up with Nick, so that was really cool. But yeah, good day. So anyway, I shall catch you later. Right guys, as you can see there, right hand side of the frame, I've just moved it over so you can see the edge. Basically still hang on to it, even though it's right off the shot almost. This shot here, just to show you, not always perfect, slightly out of focus. Busy background, don't really know what happened there, but obviously, like I say, not all perfect. Seagull shot. I only live in, 15 miles inland from the sea, but hey ho. But yeah, big bird to kind of straight into the sun as well, so still had it. Swallow there, well in focus, no drama whatsoever. When they're out that far, it's not too bad. It's when they are closer, it's much harder to stay on them because obviously they change direction so quickly. When you're closer to them, it's even harder to keep them in frame. But I've basically put a few shots in here so you can kind of see that it's pretty easy really to capture them in this situation. It's just like when you zoom right in, so these are taken at about 300mm rather than 900 on the 200 to 600. Yeah, totally out of focus, don't know why. Right in the middle of the frame as well, just decided it didn't want to do it. And then I got a second one, it was even more. So it almost hunted a little bit there. So just proves that, even the newest technology isn't perfect. So yeah, it's just just needs some more practice, and maybe it needs a firmware update, I don't know. Or like I say, nothing's perfect. Tommy here. So I thought I'd try out the 11 frames a second function with tracking. I autofocus on Tommy the cat, and as you can see here, no drama whatsoever. He just basically ran at me. Yeah, so pretty straightforward shots there, no real drama. Little birdies up on the roof line there of the house, and these are cropped in slightly obviously so you can see them a little bit clearer. All JPEGs. Not bad shots, nice and sharp and everything, no drama. Obviously cropped in a little bit as well, just so you can see the detail a little bit better there as well. That's the full shot, so you can see the difference between cropping in and not. But you've got enough megapixels there to make the most of a little bit of cropping here or there, which is quite handy. Tommy through the grass. I was trying the autofocus out through an interesting thing, so I was going through a fence and a load of grass, and it focused on his eyes quite nicely there. I think it's a crow, don't know, it was just in the sky, so I just snapped it. Cropped in quite heavily on it though, so you can kind of see that it was sharp, and the lighting. This one was quite cool. So seagull flying, another one, it wasn't the same one, it was another one flying, heading back south towards the sea, coming across there, and it even held on to it behind the tree there on its eyes. Then it disappeared behind the tree, and then it was back in focus anyway, so it did pretty well there. Into the sun, so still in sharp focus, but obviously crap lighting, really not ideal to actually get there. This shot here, quite impressed with it, but obviously it's too far out. Ideally you want them a bit closer, but then it's harder to capture them because they're moving faster in theory, because your angle of view is much smaller. Right on the edge of the frame, so I just wanted to show you the edge of the frame there, and the fact it's still held onto it on that shot there. And on this one, I couldn't, these couple of shots here, you don't even realise you've got them, because it's all happening so quickly that you don't actually know you've actually got those shots until you actually look at them. Buzzard just came up over the house, and I just happened to turn around and just snapped a couple of shots of it. That one being, not bad at all. That one, it's still hung into behind a tree, which was quite nuts. It just shows you, even that far away, on the wide angle, it's actually quite intelligent on how it locks onto things. Probably the best swallow shot, coming straight at me, with the tree in the distance and a little bit of sky, so it's quite a nice image actually. Bit of cropping in there, but quite pleased with that. And then sunset shots. A little bit of limitations with this camera. You only got a 1/4000th of a second shutter speed with a mechanical shutter. I haven't really played with the electronic shutter much, but as you can see, it's working very well, and very pleased with it so far. Another sunset shot just to finish off the video here, and it performs really well. The image quality is fantastic, not too much noise, even at high ISOs. It seems to be very very usable. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave some comments below. Any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer them if I can. I'm getting more efficient with the camera now and actually getting used to it a little bit more. Can't speak. So yeah, if you want to know anything about it, feel free to ask below in the comments. Yeah, take care.